going on, Jeromes? It's a beautiful, what day is it? Wednesday. The week between Christmas and New Year's. You don't know what day it is, and how's the joke go? You're just full of cheese. I don't know, man. But today we got the Vikings news dump for this beautiful Wednesday. Vikings back at practice ahead of their Sunday showdown against the greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers. And I understand the allure of, well, if they lose out and then several other games go right, maybe the Vikings can get like the number 10 overall pick. It doesn't matter. Nah, you ain't losing to the Packers. And besides, you draft where you draft. There you go. Anyways, so diving on in. First up is the Vikings QB position is going to be up in the air. Should get some clarification from Kevin O'Connell today. And all options are currently on the table. Alec Lewis, the Athletic. Vikings, blah, blah, blah. Vikings head coach Kevin O'Connell said the team is evaluating his plan at quarterback for this weekend's game against the Packers. Mentioned the turnovers continue to be an issue. Nick Mullens has had 6 interceptions over his 2 starts. Josh Dobbs had 8 total interceptions during the Passionate Mania. But was not fully committal to Nick Mullens for this weekend. Said they wanted to evaluate last few weeks. So they're going to be in the lab with a pen and a pad trying to get this damn label off. And so basically O'Connell, Phillips, and company are just going to sit down and think, hey, who gives us the best shot to win? And basically what it comes down to is Mullens was able to move the ball, and the Vikings offense put up 24 points in each of the last 2 games with him. They weren't putting up points with Dobbs in the Raiders game or the Bears game per se, and Jaren Hall is an unknown. Even though my vote would be Jaren Hall, I think he'll take care of the football, plus his upside I think is certainly higher than both Mullens and Dobbs, who are what they are, but we'll see. And O'Connell said they're considering all 3 quarterbacks, so I don't know what route they're going to go down. I mean, could the Passionate be back in? Maybe. Could they roll Mullens again? Maybe. But I feel like that's been the one downside with Kevin O'Connell. Ever since Kirk went down, basically it's been a sort of whatever in terms of the quarterback spot. I think he got a little bit too stubborn keeping Dobbs in there. I think he got a little bit too stubborn with Mullens if he starts him again on Sunday. And I think Jaren Hall is the guy, frankly. Next up. Speaking of Mullens turnovers, Alec Lewis, the Athletic again. One wild statistic per PFF. Nick Mullens' turnover-worthy play rate, 9.4%, which, again, isn't just interceptable passes, but just turnover-worthy play. So being careless with the football, fumbles, strip sacks, all that stuff. Josh Dobbs' turnover-worthy plays 4.4%. So, I mean, Nick Mullens living up to that gunslinger persona, because not only do they both just toss the ball up in the air when they're being sacked, but Mullens has been a habitual line stepper. And yeah, Dobbs certainly has been careless with the football, but Nick Mullens, you sort of live with the sweet and the sour. Like, the offense is probably the best it's looked since Kirk Cousins went down, absent, a little bit of the first half of the Saints game, but we'll see. Now, like, He's a walking turnover, and the Vikings would be winning some games if they weren't turning over the freaking ball so much. Next up, so Sunday Night Football will be on. We'll still feature Vikings-Packers. There have been some questions because late season, short notice flexing because NBC, of course, wants premium games in that slot, but sticking with the Vikings and the Packers as it's basically a de facto playoff game because the losers' playoff chances shrivel, and whoever wins, the Vikings, their playoff chances do stay alive. Tom Pelissero, the NFL didn't flex any games for Week 17, so the ball drops New Year's Eve with the Packers-Vikings on Sunday night. Now, there's a little bit of horse trading when it comes to swapping of games because, CBS and Fox, they don't want to just give up their premium matchups to NBC. So there's a little bit of procedures in there. But basically, they just stand pat in this spot. Although, I feel like Dolphins and Ravens would have been really tight at bringing in the new year. And see in Miami if they can beat a good team. Probably not. Go Ravens. Purple Super Bowl. Go ahead, man. Go ahead. Who else would have been good? Basically, they would have flexed from the noon games. Cincy, Kansas City, at this point. Pittsburgh, Seattle, that could have been decent. It doesn't matter either way because they don't do it. So we get to see Jar Alexander with several safeties helping over the top, try and cover Justin Frank and Jefferson. So we're looking forward to that. Also looking forward to getting that time of year where setting goals for the new year, all that stuff. And we quote tweeted one of those, gifting men is so easy. Just pay attention to what he says. And here's what I say. Here's what I want. So, number one, start Jaron Hall the rest of the season. Yeah, find out what the kid has. And frankly, I think that he does give you the best chance to win because if anything, yes, he's going to have rookie growing pains and fits and starts, but if he just doesn't turn over the football at such a high rate as Mullens and Dobbs, he's already better than them. Also, Justin Jefferson long-term extension, keep him in purple long-term. You saw he left his hat out there on the field against the Lions, and he's got the heart. He's got hot so much. And also Kirko back on a friendly 1 to 2 year deal. Now, people... I feel like too many fans see this as a binary proposition where it's either or the options are mutually exclusive. They're not. Like, you can bring back on a team-friendly, you can bring Kirk back on a team-friendly 1 to 2 year deal, and also you can keep Jaron Hall in the mix, and you can still draft a quarterback high. You can do all those things, and frankly, that might be the best course of action right now. Pay Daniil. I don't care that it's going to be 23, 24, 25 million per year. He's a premium player in his prime at a premium position. That's a lot of P's. Get him. Extend Darisaw. Act now because he's going to be in the mix. You have a franchise left tackle. Again, premium player, premium position. He's not even in his prime yet. He's scratching the surface, man. So get him a year early and see if you can save a couple shekels. Re-signed Dalton Reisner. He came in on a prorated 1 year deal, and he has established himself. He is a starting left guard. He's fantastic. Bring him back. Acquire an actual freaking nose tackle, man. So last 2 years, everyone knew it was going to be a problem. Like, Harrison Phillips is playing his balls off out there, but he's playing out of position. The Vikings don't have enough size. You saw that the Lions just pushed the Vikings around up front. I mean, when Josh Metellus is your most, has the most run stops in the game, it's not a good sign. So add size along the defensive line. T'Vondre Sweat. Second round pick, one time, man. Draft a quarterback day 1 or day 2, and you could be drafted in the top 10. I don't think it necessarily matters that much. Again, there could be 5 or 6 quarterbacks in the first round. You can either stick or pick. You can maneuver. You can do lots of things, man. So, no. Hey, just say go, Pack, go. Go, Pack, go. Oh, but I want to win a Super Bowl. Yes, we all do. Calm down. But, yeah, drafting quarterback day 1, day 2. I like Michael Penix if his medicals check out. I actually like the upside of J.J. McCarthy. I think 3 quarterbacks would be out of the range of the Vikings no matter what. I think that Jaden Daniels is playing himself into the top 5. He may be not quarterback 3. He may go higher than that. Also, Drake May and Caleb Williams obviously going to be out of range. Pay Flores if he doesn't get a head coaching job. Pay him, keep him happy. Have him transform this defense yet again, even though it's been a little bit rough the last 5 quarters. But and also give Ivan Pace Jr. number 0 because Marcus Davenport certainly doesn't deserve it. So that's what I want. Also, what I want is the Gophers when. So PJ Fleck, for all his foibles and all his giving away very winnable Big Ten games, and also his offense being very, I mean, Iowa looks at his offense and just like, hey, why are you so conservative, bro? But the Gophers won their 5th straight bowl game under PJ Fleck, 7th in a row for the program. Not bad for 7-time national champions. But I just want to say, it's really pathetic that the Detroit Lions have not won a quick lane bowl, and the Gophers have won 3. Not saying, I'm just saying. Again, not saying, I'm just saying. So there was a controversial play towards the end of the Packers and Panthers game where the Packers escaped with a 3-point win, and Romeo Doubs on the sideline. This was ruled a catch, and then after review, the play stood. All right, so it was a whole mess. Did he retain control? No, obviously not. But, you know, they ruled in the Packers' favor, obviously. And Adam Jerome, Ezekiel Thielen, our guy. Right, so, by the way, if find this video, I'm pretty sure Thielen has developed a southern twang. Just a little bit, man. But Alex Zeitlo, beat reporter, the full response from Adam Thielen on that controversial Romeo Doubs catch that was ultimately upheld after official review. The play was made right in front of Thielen and a few others on the sideline. Quote, kind of what you get when you play the Packers, end quote. And you could tell that Thielen was pissed off, man. Like, he doesn't care that he's on a losing team. He doesn't care this, that, or the other thing. He doesn't care that they don't have a first-round pick. He wants to win some ball games. And they had one in their sights. And Thielen, of course growing up in the great state of Minnesota, he hates hates the greasy, grimy Green Bay Packers. He knows all about them, and of course, they get another call. But so I love that he vented there. Also, another throwback is Mike Zimmer. All right, so Zimmer's been keeping a low profile, living his life, and he joined the Insiders, talked to his guy Tom Pelissero, two former Minnesota luminaries. Pelissero still lives here, but they talked about a lot of things. Apparently Zimmer's getting into analytics now. I like Mike Zimmer. I think that he's a good coach. I think that overhaul here in Minnesota, he did very good things, but did the message get a little bit stale at the end with a team full of veterans? Yeah. I think it's possible. I think him and Spielman, I mean, they did good work, but it was time for a fresh set of eyes that fans could complain about. Fire Kwesi, fire O'Connell. But with Zim, I would love for him to get a second crack at a head coaching job, and he just becomes this wide open, fun and gun, air raid, no risk it, no biscuit, going for every fourth down, blitzing on first and second down, going for two all the time because the analytics say so. I would love it. Just complete YOLO. But actually, here's my fear. I feel like with Zimmer's knowledge of the division, I feel like he's going to be the Packers defensive coordinator. I think that they're going to fire Joe Barry and then they're going to bring in Zimmer, because I feel like Zimmer's a good dude, but I feel like maybe he's got a little bit of an axe to grind with the Vikings, and just signing up with the Packers. Frankly, I would kind of love it just for the headlines and whatnot. It would actually be kind of great. But basically, he went on there, talked about how he's trying to outweight Aaron Rodgers out of the division and all that stuff. Plus, gave some props to his guy Deion Sanders, and he looks spry. He looks tan and rested, ready to go. Also, he's got like that sunglasses tan going on. I don't think it was from skiing. So Zim was probably someplace warm over the holidays. Respect. Also, love the Illinois State quarter zip. He's the pride of Illinois State. Him and James Robinson, the famous Illinois State Redbirds alums. Go ahead. Zimmer was a linebacker / quarterback at Illinois State. That's hilarious, man. So there you go. Also, he backed up Lamar Jackson as MVP pick. So there you go. Speaking of stupid Rodgers, I mean, him being away from the Packers, maybe that softened the stance a little bit. Also felt terrible about his Achilles, but then he's like, oh, I'm just going to make all my rehab about me. Oh, I'm on the active roster, except I'm not going to ever dress for a game, so I'm just going to take up a 53-man spot and also take up a game check from someone else. But but now we're back to just fully on poop mode. But he was on the McAfee show this week and said, although I'm in New York, I definitely still want the green and gold to take the North every year. Okay. Well, it didn't happen this year. That's what I'll say about the Lions. Hey, they can have their asterisk fluke NFC North Division title and act like you've been there before. They haven't, but it's okay. Hey, the only reason they won is because Kirk Cousins got hurt. Because Kirk Cousins popped an Achilles on the garbage ass greasy grimy Green Bay Packers grass. That's it, man. But it's okay. I don't see it as the Lions winning the division. I see it as the Packers losing the division. That's all I'll say. That's all, man. But going out on a high note, so this was amazing from Monday night. So this guy had an Uber sweat going on. So he had a 14-pick parlay on a $5 bet. All right, so, and it was plus 9.8 million. So you're getting 98,000 to 1 on your 14 pick parlay, and it was an anytime touchdown score parlay. He had Najee, he had Gabe Davis, Jahmyr Gibbs, DK, Jerome Ford, Chris Rodriguez Jr., Jonathan Taylor Thomas, Ridley, James Conner, Mostert, Javonte, Isaiah Pacheco. Oh, it's amazing that Pacheco got one before he got hurt. Swift and Christian McCaffrey. So he hit 13 out of 14 going into Monday Night Football, and you got to feel pretty good about it. I mean, you have the guy who's a touchdown machine, and you need him to score a touchdown for $500,000. It's great, man. It's great. Now, you could say, well, how do sportsbooks have these? I mean, how come they don't go bankrupt? Here's the thing. All right, so one guy bet $5 to win $500,000. What about the $500,000 $14 pick parlays that don't pan out? Also, the true odds of all 14 things, 14 legs of this hitting, I mean, you're getting paid like 98,000 to 1 roughly, and the odds of it are, I don't know, maybe 160,000 to 1, maybe even more. Like some places are very stingy when it comes to parlay payouts to actually true odds, but it's great, man. It's fantastic. I mean, the guy was kind of subdued. Although now he has the bankroll after taxes that he could bet $10 14-team parlays. There you go, man. And again, personally, I'm not much of a home run hitter or going for just going all in, no risk it, no biscuit when it comes to jelly bean sports wagering. I'm much more of a singles hitter. I like to cash tickets. I like to win every day, but or try to at least. But I mean, these are fun, and this is what you want to, because what are you gonna do? You want to bet $5.50 to win $5, or do you want a chance to completely spin that wheel? $5 for a $500,000 sweat, baby. Let's go. Also, apparently DraftKings didn't have a cash out option on these parlays, which seems kind of silly, because if you're DraftKings, do you want to risk $500,000 on if Christian McCaffrey scores a touchdown or not to win $5? Nah. Offer the dude $150,000 to go away. Because even though, McCaffrey did score a touchdown and he's a touchdown machine. I mean, injuries happen. Defenses happen. Ravens are legit. So, I don't know, man. Either way, happy for the dude. And stories like this, I mean, yes, the books pay out, but it's great marketing. And how many more huge number leg parlays are going to come in because of this? Tons. And that's where they make a ton of money on markup, man. So there you go. Anyways, that's it. That's Vikings news done for this beautiful Wednesday. We'll find out who the quarterback is in all likelihood today as well. But your thoughts on our thoughts, let us know in the comment section below. Subscribe for daily Vikings takes. Want to support the work? Put a little something in the Venmo. But next time, Skull Production Value.